What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button, but don't do it yet. Wait until you listen to the story somewhat and see if it's worthy. But if you like it, hit the like button. Hate it, hit the hate button. But whatever you do, you can subscribe and share this video. Okay, let's talk about Anthony Mason. Oh, and you can also comment. Let's talk about Anthony Mason, the late great Anthony Mason. The first time I ever saw him, first time I ever played against him or with him was was in St. Albans, or I should say at St. Albans, Queens, right? At O'Connell Park, right at 196 and Murdoch. This was spring, summer of '87, right? And this guy, it's a funny thing because I had never seen the guy before, and I get out to the park kind of early, right? Because I had to get out there early because after taking 2 hours on subways and buses and everything coming from the Vernon just to get out there, the last thing that I wanted to do was have to wait another hour or two just to play. So I made sure I was out there early. So as I get out there, guys are just starting to sort of warm up. I don't even think we have 10 guys yet, but there's this tall, dark-skinned dude. I see him right as I walk up. And, he's muscular, not like super huge, but just like that lean, muscular athlete's body. Kind of like he was built something like a taller Julio Jones, like that. But anyway, so I'm checking him out and just warming up. I'm like, well, he can't really shoot, it seems. But you could see that he had just like a motor. You could kind of see that he was agile. He was quick. He could dribble. And you're like, okay, so why don't I know who this guy is? So anyway, choose up teams, wind up, he's on the other team, right? We didn't have anybody on my team bigger than, say, me, okay? And at the time, I was maybe 6'2" and a quarter, 6'2" and a half, maybe, okay? I think we might have had another guy on the team that was maybe 6'4", but he was really, really lean, I think was the deal. So I had to be, I was like, okay, I'm going to guard this guy. So the game starts. I'm like, hey, listen, we're going to double this guy, but I don't want you to double right away, because I could tell just from the warm-up that he had vision and would pass it. I could just sense that. So I was like, listen, when he puts the ball on the deck and he attacks, then you double team, okay? Other than that, I'm just going to try to body him up, and force him to his right and hope for the best. Well, that worked with marginal success. I mean, like, we did make him work, but ultimately it was like whenever he just really just decided, okay, I'm gonna do my move and there's nothing you can do about it, there was really nothing I could do about it, right? But I competed. But the deal was just watching this guy play, watching his motor, watching how fast he was, how quick he was, how intense the guy was. I was like, this is an NBA player. He's not really a 30-point a night type of dude, but he can guard anybody in the world. I mean, that was obvious. It's like, this guy can guard it. And I remember one time, I was on the break. I had the ball on the break. And ordinarily, I'm not really worried about anybody behind me normally, right? Not anybody bigger than me. Anthony Mason was behind me on the break. And I'm thinking, there's no way this shot is getting off. This guy's going to chase me down and pin me on the backboard. And there wasn't really a lot of like room at the other end of the court either. So I was also concerned about him bumping me, and then I go into like this landing area. I was like, nah, I don't want I don't want that at all. But anyway, so like I wound up pitching the ball back to this other guy. I was like, okay, run real fast, and then whip, you take it, because I don't want to get boarded. But anyway, yeah, but that's just testament to just how much motor the guy had. Like, he was trying not to give up any points at all. And I'm talking in the park. I mean, like, normally guys don't play with that type of intensity in the park. I mean, some guys do, but it's just rare. But so anyway, I'm like, all right, who is this guy? So I find out that he's some guy named Anthony Mason. In fact, I think they were calling him Tony Mason at the time, I think. I'm like, all right. So I go back home. I'm like, hey, listen, I played with this guy the other day named Mason, Anthony Mason. So, yo, this dude is a pro. They're like, yeah, right. No, listen. He's 6'7", muscular, strong, quick, agile. He can guard. He can handle. And the most important thing is he doesn't need the ball to be effective. I was like, anytime you have a guy that has those attributes and doesn't need the ball, he's a pro. And played with him maybe once or twice again that summer, and then I didn't see him again, I think, until he was with the Knicks. It seems like I didn't play with him the following summer, but then the next summer, I think summer of '89, wound up going out there, and I think by '89, I think he was in the league or was about to be in the league. And by that time, he was a bigger dude, like a more muscular guy. And yeah, just a beast, So yeah, so Anthony Mason. And then I would see him once in a while, just out and about. A couple of night spots and everything. And he came up to Mount Vernon and played with a team there. He actually played with Mount Vernon's teams, one of Mount Vernon's teams, once or twice. And yeah, interesting guy, nice guy, very sort of humble, on the court, very intense, and was kind of a high standard type of guy. Like, he would not let you just be out there doing ill-advised shots or reckless passes or anything like that. Like, he definitely was one of these guys that if you were doing something dumb, he would mention, hey, and if you were not competing, he would let you know about it. But I always competed, so I never got that from him. But definitely the guy was a decent guy, a heck of a player, very intense, and very sorry to see him go. But you had a bunch of cats out there. You had Mark Jackson was out there. Boo Harvey was out there. Escalade was out there, but as a baby, basically. So, like, I remember seeing him around. He was probably 11 or 12, and he wasn't all that tall yet either, from what I remember. You know, he was just really fat. I mean, you know, then, but not that fat, but, you know, definitely like, oh, who's this chubby kid, you know? And he really didn't have too much game at that point. He would just kind of warm up at the other end, you know, and just kind of watch us play. And then there was this other court where he would go play with some of the other kids that were 11 years old or something like that. But that's another one, you know. You just go, wow, man, gone way too soon. So, R.I.P. Anthony Mason, R.I.P. Escalade. Shout out to Mark Jackson. Certainly have not seen him in decades. Boo Harvey, haven't seen him in decades. But if you ever see this, just want you to know it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. You guys are good dudes, and you know, I really appreciated how I was received out there, and the run, which was awesome. So thank you. All right, guys, that's this video. If you like this video, now hit the like button. If you hate it, hit the hate button. But whatever you do, click subscribe.